What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great Thirsty Thursday. Weekend's almost here, the first weekend with no more football. So we got to find stuff to do. The good news is, in a week and a half, the combine starts. Even better is, come the 11th, is legal tampering for free agents. And the league year starts on the 13th, so that's free agent frenzy. So a couple of weeks, it's going to be hot and heavy. We'll find out if the Cowboys are actually going to be players in that, because normally they're not. But we'll see where it goes. But I want to say shout out to damn Gina. Gina shared with me a couple of tweets from Micah Parsons. So the first one was Micah Parsons said that at his gate, because I guess he's flying someplace, I don't know where he's flying to, but it's the off season, it's time to recoup and regenerate and things. Get yourself together. And he said that there were 8 men at his gate with many helmets and pictures and things and wanting autographs. And then the next one was, is there any self-dignity or self-respect? I don't quote me on it, but it was kind of, I'm trying to understand if this was being sarcastic, if this was being joking. I didn't see any laugh out loud. He said, but this woman and this child are following me. And see, man, this is, when you are out there, you are a public figure. And unfortunately, people, when they see you, their eyes light up. They're in awe. They feel like, oh my God, this is one of the greatest people on the planet. I can't believe it. I remember being in the airport in Miami and sitting at a bar waiting for my flight, and Jimmy Johnson walks by. I'm like, oh my God, that's Jimmy Johnson. I didn't get up and chase him or anything and follow him around the airport, but it was like, damn, I was that close. I remember another time I was in an airport and it was Bob Costas. And I didn't realize how short Bob Costas is, like this. He's short. And we're walking and stuff, and we ended up going to the bathroom, and I was like, oh, Bob Costa, nice to meet you. I didn't ask to shake his hand or anything like that. It's like, yeah, great. But you have to understand that you are larger than life, and people don't understand that you poop just like everybody else. You got to take a piss like everybody else. You got to eat like everybody else. That you got problems like everybody else. But the thing is, Micah, you're famous. You right now have all the limelights, the Bleacher Report podcast, where people are living and dying by everything that you say. And I don't want to disrespect you, okay? I don't want to disrespect you. I want to actually try and educate you a little bit. Because, see, I want to tell you a story, okay? Now, I know y'all get tired of stories, but this is one of those ones that has shaped my life and made me realize, what is my legacy going to be in this world? And I'd like to think that with this house, that maybe, I don't have the opportunity of being Micah Parsons or a Dallas Cowboy player where if I win the Super Bowl, I'm going to be there forever. I don't have those opportunities. But my legacy, I hope, is the fact that we saved this 204-year-old house with all the history and all the stories that are part of this, and all the families and all the people that I've met here that are so happy that this piece of history is still here, that maybe, 50 years after, when I'm dead, or 100 years, they'll say Mark and Tracy were the reason that the original schoolhouse that was built out of bricks in 1820 survived. That'll be my legacy. So when I'm gone and the bright lights are done, they're gone. But I'm going to say that I remember, I believe it was 2012, United Way was doing a spot with Roger Staubach and with Franco Harris. Franco Harris, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, even though he's a Steeler. And Roger Staubach. And I remember my wife saying, She said, honey, I don't know if I can get you to meet Roger Staubach and stuff. This is work and things. He's here to do this video and things with Franco and everything else. And I was like, that's cool. I said, I'm just happy to be at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It was the first time I got to be there. But I ended up having actually a pass, a press pass. So I could go anywhere except for the field. And so when it was time for Roger Staubach to do his stuff, he was in the autograph booth outside. It's tent set up there. And you had to pay, it was like, basically, this is the early days of this. It was like $350 and you could get into the tent and get everybody's autograph. So I'm seeing Roger Staubach. I'm seeing Chris Carter. No, was it Chris Carter? No. Mean Joe Green was in there. I want to say John Riggins was in there. And there was a couple other guys. But clearly, everybody was there for Roger Staubach. And he was only supposed to sign for an hour, but he stayed for 2. And so when it was his time to go into the Hall of Fame, they took him out the back of the tent. And they brought him, out front. And all of a sudden, like flies to shit, they came after Roger Staubach. Because everybody's in his face. Hey, Roger, can I get the picture? Okay, right? And this is where my story gets to be kind of cool, because I jumped in front of them and just started pushing people out of the way so we could get Roger into the Hall of Fame. So I can say that I blocked for Roger Staubach, and it's complete truth. It is complete truth. So Roger gets done and everything, and all that. I didn't actually talk to Roger. I just got him in there and stuff. My job was done. But when he was done working, the wonderful wife that I have, she had gotten a jersey signed by me. I got it hanging up in my man cave downstairs, framed up and things. And we're talking with Roger Staubach. And I said, Roger, you used to have a real estate place in Washington, D.C. We used to cater for you. I said, you autographed a picture of you. Best wishes, Roger Staubach. For me, your secretary gave it to me, but I didn't mean, she was like, oh yeah, we sold that years ago. We made tons of money in Washington, which is true. Cowboys made a lot of money in Washington. And so my wife said to him, so Roger, what are you getting ready to do? And he said, well, I rode over from the hotel with a friend. I need to find him so I can get a ride back. And she said, you're Roger Staubach. You can't just walk around looking for a ride. Mark, get the car, take Roger back to the hotel. I'm in awe. I'm just like, I hope I don't crash the car, because this is my childhood hero. This is a guy I thought of like a god. And I get, I open up the back door. I'll sit up front. And I'm like, it's like, wow, he's going to sit up front. I'm sitting here looking at his first Super Bowl ring on his finger. Roger Staubach is sitting beside me. And we are sitting here talking about the pistol offense and things. Greatest moment of my life. But as we're leaving, Roger is waving to people, because I'm literally in the front of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And I'm pulling away, and people are waving and screaming and everything else. And Roger says, it's just great to be remembered. And I'm looking at Roger like, the fudge? What are you talking about? Nobody's going to forget you. You're Roger Staubach. And I didn't understand what he meant until I came back. When I came back, there was a tent that was right there. Roger Staubach and Mean Joe Green and Lawrence Taylor and guys are in there signing autographs that everybody and their sister wants to be at. But then there's another tent right beside it that had guys like Forrest Gregg, Chris Hamburger in there. Guys that were the cornerstone and the foundation of what football was. Hall of Famers. Some of the greatest of all time. And there was nobody there wanting their autographs. Nobody. Nobody knew who these guys were. Nobody knew what their contributions were to football. And the thing about football is, your time, your window is fleeting. When you're there, you are a god. You are a Dallas Cowboy player. You are everything. But when you're done, for most of guys, nobody knows who they are. They soon get forgotten. So when you have those people that are there literally worshiping you, that literally meeting you, it may be the greatest thing in their life, I get it. You know, there's times where you just don't want to be bothered. You don't want to say, you don't want to be, smile and, let me get the autograph and listen to stories and people say, snap a picture. You might be in a bad mood. You might have had a fight with your girlfriend, or, you might just be tired and don't feel like it. But understand the gift you are giving to them. Now, I'm going to say, I'm an honest man. I'm going to be an honest man. Because Micah, Chantilly, Virginia, come April, it's another autograph signing show. CD Land, we already know is going to be there. Come April, I think 12th through 14th. There's always a lot of Cowboy players, current players that come through there. And I don't remember if it was your rookie year or your second year, but you came there the first time. You came there the first time. In fact, I came there because my good friend Stuart Morrison had a helmet that was autographed by you that he wanted to give to me. And he was dying from cancer. And I remember trying to tell you about that season and how big a Cowboy fan he was and how important it would be for you guys to win the Super Bowl. You were young and probably one of your first autograph signing shows. You were there with earpieces on. And most of the time, you didn't even look up. You did look up and you looked at me like I was crazy and kind of nodded when I was talking. But for the fans, they literally worship you. And waiting in line, spending their money. I know, a couple $100 for an autograph is chump change for you, but some people, they are reaching and taking every cent they have just to be able to try and touch that bit of fame, to be able to go back to their friends and say, man, I saw Micah Parsons, And the taste that you leave behind is what's remembered. A smile. Hey, how you doing? There you go. That's all it takes to make somebody incredibly happy and to spread your legacy. Because the sad thing is one day, all that's not going to be there. It's not going to be there. And so that's my words of advice for Micah on that one. Be excited that people recognize you and want to have a little moment with you. Have a good day, people. I'll see you soon.